Starting off at number 10, we have Kylie Minogue. Kylie Minogue and Kylie Jenner got in a huge legal battle over their names a few years ago. Basically, Jenner was trying to trademark the name Kylie, but she's obviously not the only person in the world with that name. According to the US Patent and Trademark Office, in 2015, Jenner tried to register Kylie in the US for advertising services and endorsement services. Minogue then had her team file for the registration to not go ahead as it would damage her own reputation. And in the legal documents, Minogue did not hold back, describing Jenner as a quote, secondary reality television personality, known for her quote, photographic exhibitionism and controversial posts on social media. Minogue then tweeted out quote, "Hello, my name is Kylie, #lightyears," insinuating that she's light years ahead of the reality star. And even though at the time Jenner deserved to lose the trademark, I wonder what would happen today now that the name Kylie is affiliated with Kylie Jenner a vast majority of the time. Let me know below. In at number 9, Forbes. News outlet Forbes was a huge part in getting Kylie Jenner the respect that her and her family wanted so badly. When they announced that she was the world's youngest billionaire, people changed their minds about the business Kylie was doing. But Forbes later publicly retracted those statements, saying that they were caught up in Kylie's web of lies, and she actually wasn't a billionaire after all. The bombshell came from documents that were made public when Coty purchased 51% of Kylie Cosmetics. That deal valued Kylie Cosmetics at nearly $1.2 billion and backed up the billionaire claims. But later, those documents showed that the company generated $125 million in sales for 2018. For example, despite the Jenner family leading Forbes to believe that it had generated $360 million. As a response, Kylie tweeted, quote, "I've never asked for any title or tried to lie my way there ever, period." Kylie then tried to change the subject by tweeting that there's more important things to be worrying about, and even though that's true, it was crazy to learn that her billionaire status was a Kardashian PR statement. Although she's still worth about $900 million, so I mean, still worth quite a lot. In at number 8, Paris Jackson. Paris Jackson is of course the daughter of the late Michael Jackson, and because of this she has a deep love and respect for music. So when she saw that Kendall and Kylie Jenner were selling t-shirts with various musical icons on them, she wasn't happy. The shirts featured musical legends like Notorious B.I.G., Tupac Shakur, The Doors, and Ozzy Osbourne. When talking about the scandal, she said, quote, "As a huge fan of Zeppelin, The Doors, Floyd, I mean these bands literally helped shape who I am today. I can't condone this fashion." Going on to explain that these legends should be respected and honored. And this was just one case of the girls using things that aren't theirs to make some money. And at number 7, Amanda Steinberg. As we know, Kylie and her family are famous for cultural appropriation and stealing looks from Black culture, then getting praised for it. Actress Amanda Steinberg was a celebrity who decided to stand up to Kylie after Kylie posted a picture wearing cornrows. Steinberg commented on Kylie's photo, quote, "When you appropriate Black features and culture, but fail to use your position of power to help Black Americans by directing attention towards your wigs instead of police brutality or racism. #white girls do it better." Kylie clapped back saying, quote, "Mad if I don't, mad if I do, go hang with Jaden or something," referring to their mutual friend Jaden Smith. But honestly, that was the weakest comeback I've literally ever seen. And at number 6, Danielle Bregoli / Bad Baby. Danielle Bregoli is known for being shady and taking aim at celebrities, so it was no surprise when she shaded Kylie in one of her music videos. The song was called These Hoes, and in the video there was a part where a girl that looked eerily similar to Kylie was getting lip and butt injections. And the whole point of the song is that she isn't like other LA girls, insinuating that Bregoli is not fake like Kylie is. And a little fun fact, so many people thought that the Kylie impersonator in the video was Tana Mojo, that Tana literally had to come out saying that it wasn't her. I guess this video was both shady to Kylie and Tana then. Halfway number 5, Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer slammed Kylie in a 2017 interview where she was talking about the importance of self-confidence and beauty on social media. In the interview, Keke said, quote, "Specifically the situation with Kylie, where you've had a young girl people have seen on television since she was a kid, and they literally told her she was so ugly, the ugly person in the family. She went and did apparently everything the world deems as beautiful. The even crazier part is that everyone loves her for it." Kylie never addressed the comments, but years later, Keke spoke about them again with Andy Cohen, but they're clarifying that her statements were not meant to be a dig at Kylie, but she was just one example, with Keke adding that all she wanted was for people to embrace their own bodies, not change just because people are telling them to. And at number 4, Amber Rose. Amber Rose was very outspoken when Kylie and Tyga started dating, because honestly, I think a lot of people were a little suspicious of their age gap, with Amber making comments that the relationship was wrong because of Kylie's young age. with Amber telling The Breakfast Club, quote, "She's a baby. She needs to go to bed at 7 o'clock and relax." Adding, "That's ridiculous. Tyga should be ashamed of himself. For sure, he's a beautiful woman and a baby, and left that for a 16-year-old who just turned 17. And at first the comments seemed to take aim at Tyga because he was the adult in the situation, but then the comments turned nasty towards Kylie when she said that he just left a beautiful woman and a child for a teenager. But I'm sorry, Amber's not wrong. That relationship was nasty. In at number 3, Ellen DeGeneres. Even though we can't trust anything Ellen says anymore, there was one point in time where Ellen was very annoyed with Kylie Jenner, and it proved how much of a diva that she can be. Ellen and the Kardashians are very close, with the Kardashians giving tons of exclusive interviews to Ellen. But Ellen might not be that fond of Kylie. In late 2015, Kylie was scheduled to appear on the show and apparently had 5 meltdowns before doing so. She also refused to use Ellen's glam team and brought her own instead, which meant Kylie needed extra dressing rooms. A source told Radar Online, quote, "Kylie also insisted that she have 2 VIP parking spots because she didn't want to walk from the parking structure to the studio, which is less than a block away. She also arrived late to film the show, and all that combined definitely shows some huge diva energy." And at number 2, Miley Cyrus. As we know, Miley Cyrus does not hold back when dishing out some good old shade. So a few years back, Miley posted a photo to her Instagram with her cleavage and signature pout. What's new, right? But then Miley decided to throw some shade by posting a photo of her pouting and pushing up her own cleavage with the caption, quote, "Do you think if I push my boobs up I'll get more followers?" Then to make it clear she was probably making fun of Kylie, she posted, quote, "Dear women, you all are tacky AF. Why don't we overly, myself included, fortunate women come together and try to create and bring jobs to other women in desperate need of them so they can support not only themselves but their families." And although she never called out Kylie by name, you didn't have to look too hard to see who she was calling out. In at number 1, Kanye West. This one might be the worst because Kylie actually turned her back on her own family in order to get some money. So Kanye owns Yeezy shoes, which has turned into a well-recognized shoe brand. But before that happened, Puma actually snagged Kylie to be in their new campaign, which happened to be Kanye's biggest competitor at the time. In an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kim said, quote, "Kanye had Kylie walk in his first 2 Adidas shows. He really believed in her as part of his brand. I feel like this was a conflict of interest." Kylie ended up getting a 7-figure deal with Puma, but lost the respect of Kanye along the way. Before the deal was finished, Kanye tweeted, quote, "1000% there will never be a Kylie Puma anything. That's on my family. 1000% Kylie is on Yeezy team." Then adding in another tweet, quote, "Puma, we're gonna give your measly $1 million back. Never try to divide the family." But now I'm sure he's learned his lesson to never trust Kylie because even after all of that, she took the Puma deal. So based on this list, it's safe to say that Kylie is very shady, even going against family for a check. What do you guys think about all this? Which situation do you think was the worst? And who do you think hates Kylie the most? There's too many people with valid reasons on this list for me to pick just one, honestly.
At number 10, Keke Palmer. So many people have opinions on the Kardashians. The way they look, the way they act, their business, everything. A lot of people don't like them for a number of reasons, but actress Keke Palmer has blatantly come out and talked about why she dislikes the Kardashians, specifically Kylie. Keke has shown sympathy in the past for Kylie because of the insecurities that Kylie has professed, but Keke isn't too fond of how Kylie went about dealing with those insecurities. A lot of the Kardashians show off their appearances all the time, and many of them have had plastic surgery, but Keke doesn't seem to like that Kylie flaunted how she changed her appearance like her sisters. The actress believes that Kylie went about dealing with her insecurities in the wrong way, and she hates the fact that she's been praised for this paid glow up. In an interview, Keke spoke out about all of this where she said, quote, "In the sense of the Kardashians, it's like, I'm going to show you so much perfect and be everything a woman should be or everything a man would like or love. Specifically in the situation of Kylie, where you've had a young girl people have seen on television since she was a kid and they literally told her she was so ugly, the ugly person in the family. She went and did apparently everything the world deemed as beautiful. The even crazier part is that everybody loves her for it." End quote. Keke has deemed Kylie inauthentic, and that's why she dislikes her so much.
And at number 9, Kylie Minogue. Before there was Kylie Jenner, Kylie Minogue was the most famous Kylie. But in 2015, Jenner tried to trademark the name Kylie and Minogue fought back. The Australian pop star shaded Jenner when she tried to trademark their first name. According to the US Patent and Trademark Office, in 2015 Jenner tried to register Kylie in the US for advertising services and endorsement services. But Kylie Minogue's team filed their own charges to ensure the trademark did not go through. Minogue claimed it would, quote, "damage her own reputation." In the legal documents, Minogue's team classified Jenner as a, quote, "secondary reality television personality known for her, quote, photographic exhibitionism and controversial posts on social media." Very savage. Then Minogue tweeted, quote, "Hello, my name is Kylie, #lightyears," insinuating that she was here way before Jenner. After this whole debacle, it's clear the two do not like each other.
At number 8, Madison Beer. There are a handful of people in Hollywood who have their grievances with Kylie's beauty brand. In the past, she's been accused of copying the same packaging as Jeffree Star's makeup brand, but she's also had some beef with Madison Beer because the singer accused Kylie of stealing Madison's purple palette idea from back in 2017. In October of 2017, Kylie released her purple palette from her Kylie Cosmetics brand, and soon after the collection was made public, Madison shaded Kylie on Instagram, alleging that Kylie betrayed her. Madison posted on Instagram saying, quote, "When people fully steal your idea and they come out with what was supposed to be a collab, whack," end quote. Though the collab between Madison and Kylie was never confirmed, Madison appeared to have hinted at it back in March of 2017 when talking to paparazzi. I could imagine how hurt you would feel if you worked on something just for it all to fall through with you but still be sold. That would be a serious punch to the gut. When a follower called Madison out on being salty about the whole ordeal and that she didn't invent purple eyeshadow, the singer clapped back saying, quote, "You sound very unintelligent. Who in their right mind would think they invented an eyeshadow color or shade? That is not at all in any way what I said or even slightly implied," end quote. Apparently Kylie and Madison were friends before all of this happened, so I wonder if they're over it now or if that ruined their friendship.
In at number 7, Paris Jackson. Kendall and Kylie got tons of backlash when they released a series of vintage t-shirts for their clothing line, and photos of legends like Notorious B.I.G., Tupac Shakur, and the Doors and Ozzy Osbourne were beside their own on the shirts. Tons of celebrities called out the sisters for their tone-deaf decision, including Paris Jackson, the daughter of the late Michael Jackson. Paris took to Twitter and wrote, quote, "As a huge fan of Zeppelin, The Doors, Floyd, I mean these bands literally helped shape who I am today. I can't condone this fashion. Legends like these who completely changed our world today, not just the music world, should be respected and honored, not turned into this. Pink Floyd is not Chanel, Led Zeppelin is not Michael Kors, Metallica is not Givenchy, don't get it twisted. #bands not brands and #respect music." Along with getting tons of heat, the sisters were also slapped with multiple lawsuits, so they decided to stop selling the shirts shortly after their release.
At number 6, Selena Gomez. Another celebrity who seems to have had beef with Kylie is former Disney star Selena Gomez. Turns out that Selena had an on and off again friendship with the Jenner sisters, and it all stemmed from Justin Bieber. During the time that Selena and Justin were a thing, Selena started feeling a little iffy about Kylie specifically because she thought that Kylie was flirting with Justin. Selena and Kylie apparently got into a confrontation in 2014 because of it, and it all went down at Justin's house. According to sources, what happened that evening was that Kylie allegedly, quote, "sent sexy pics of herself to Justin, and that's what started the fight. Selena saw the pictures on Justin's phone and she freaked out and immediately left," end quote. The source also commented on the Jenner sisters saying, quote, "Kylie and Kendall live in such a fantasy world with what the show has turned their family into. At the end of the day, Selena was just there to be a part of the show and enhance their brand rather than being legit friends. Thankfully, Selena realized that she was being used and got out," end quote. Some sources also claim that Selena stopped being friends with the Jenners because of their use of substances, drinking, and partying, but the Jenners have denied those claims.
Halfway at number 5, Lourdes Leon. Lourdes Leon, daughter of Madonna, dissed Kylie after Lourdes was invited to Kylie's birthday party in 2015. Apparently, she finds the Kardashian family vile and was horrified about the invite. A source revealed that Lourdes shaded Kylie over her social media activity and selfie taking. After she received the invite, a source exposed, quote, "She couldn't believe Kylie thought that she'd be receptive to a party invite and has completely ignored her. As far as Lourdes is concerned, she's not going to lower herself to even responding," adding that Lourdes is very picky about who she spends her time with and Kylie doesn't make the cut. The source added that Lourdes' friends are, quote, "much more interested in changing the world than in taking selfies. And in my opinion, you must really hate someone if the thought of them inviting you to their birthday leaves you horrified."
At number 4, Amber Rose. The Kardashians have caused a lot of tension in the past in case of their relationships. There's been so much drama with cheating, rumors, babies, and so much more, so it's not surprising to know that Kylie is hated because of relationship quarrels. Amber Rose has had some harsh things to say about Kylie in the past, especially when it came to her relationship with rapper Tyga. Tyga had left Blac Chyna, the mother of his son, for Kylie, and Amber did not approve of that at all. During a radio interview, Amber spoke out about that drama when she said, quote, "She's a baby, she needs to go to bed at 7 o'clock and relax. That's ridiculous. Tyga should be ashamed of himself. That's how I feel, for sure. He has a beautiful woman and a baby and left that all for a 16-year-old who just turned 17. End quote. Amber wasn't the only one to comment on Kylie and Tyga's relationship, but her commentary definitely had some heat.
In at number 3, Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star has been coming for Kylie publicly ever since she came out with an online makeup company that was a competitor to Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Their feud is totally one-sided, but I'm sure that Kylie has seen all the shade that Jeffree has dished out. Back when Jeffree was famous for his makeup reviews, he reviewed Kylie Cosmetics on multiple occasions, and more often than not, he trashed her products. When reviewing her over $300 brush set, he called it cheap dollar store product. Jeffree and Shane Dawson also trashed Kylie's skin in their review, where they called the products drying, irritating, and overpriced. Jeffree even shaded Kylie's Forbes cover, where she was declared the world's youngest self-made billionaire. He said, quote, "I declined the feature so they had to pick someone."
At number 2, Amanda Stenberg. The most common scandal that the Kardashians seem to get involved in is something involving cultural appropriation. Many of the Kardashians have been accused of appropriating black culture and blackfishing, and Kylie seems to be one of the worst offenders when it comes to these things. The internet has got really fired up when Kylie was seen wearing cornrows, and actress Amanda Stenberg went off on Kylie for it. The Hunger Games actress tweeted saying, quote, "When you appropriate black features and culture but fail to use your position of power to help black Americans by directing attention towards your wigs instead of police brutality or racism, hashtag white girls do it better." End quote. On top of that, Amanda also posted a video titled "Don't Cash Crop on My Cornrow," explaining that, quote, "The line between cultural appropriation and cultural exchange is always going to be blurred, but here's the thing. Appropriation occurs when a style leads to racist generalizations or stereotypes where it originated but deemed high fashion, cool, or funny when the privileged take it for themselves." End quote. Amanda already took a disliking towards Kylie after that, but that didn't seem to do much because she kept posting in cornrows after that.
And finally at number 1, Blac Chyna. There is absolutely no doubt in anyone's mind that Blac Chyna hates Kylie Jenner. I think pretty much anyone would hate the woman that your boyfriend left you for. Back in 2014, Blac Chyna was in a long-term relationship with Tyga. The pair even had a son together. But that all changed when Kylie came into the picture, and Tyga left Chyna for a 16-year-old Kylie. Kylie and Tyga dated for 2 years before splitting. At this time, tons of Chyna's friends and family were shading Kylie for breaking up a family, including Amber Rose. Apparently, Kim Kardashian was even friends with Chyna while she was with Tyga, and Kim said that Chyna was devastated when she found out that Tyga was leaving her and their 3-year-old son King Cairo for Kylie. Years later, Chyna would get in a long-term relationship with Rob Kardashian, Kylie's half-brother, and have a child with him. Some even speculate that Blac Chyna got with Rob purely out of spite so she could make Kylie's life hell.
Kicking off the countdown list, number 10 is her lip injections. Is it really a Kylie Jenner list if it doesn't talk about her lips? I mean, I feel like that would be a sin not to talk about her lips. For years now, her lips have always been the most talked about feature on her body. Believe it or not. Her fans first noticed that as she started to grow older, she seemed to have fuller lips. And for a while, she was telling her fans that it was just lip liner and a photo filter, making them look more full. Over time, she did finally come clean about getting lip injections, and it was revealed that she had them done when she was just a teenager. Turns out she had her first injections when she was just 16 years old. And she said that she kept it a secret because she didn't want people to look at her as a bad influence. Because obviously when you're 16, you have a lot of young fans, and you don't want to be putting needles in your face at 16 years old. Girl, too young. You know what I just thought of? That just means Kris Jenner had to sign off on that because you will need parental consent. Coming in next at number 9 is the envy between Kylie and Kendall. When your entire family is famous and everyone has their own businesses running, one might think that there would be some kind of competition going on. I mean, some of their products and businesses are like a conflict of interest with each other. Like they're in competition. But because they are all sisters and they are all very successful, each sister has said that they do not feel threatened by anyone else. But there was some tea spilled and a source claimed that Kendall and Kylie have a secret rivalry that's never really talked about. The sisters seem to be incredibly close to us because of their small age gap and their many collaborations throughout the years. But a source told Radar Online, I quote, "There's so much envy between these two, it's as though they're not happy when the other one is doing well." Some little sister competition going on. I mean, I get that. I feel like there might naturally just be a little bit of envy there. Cruising into number 8 is her hair. Just by following her or seeing some of her pictures, you'd be able to tell that her hair is fake. She switches up her look often, usually sporting bright colored wigs or changing up the length and color of her real hair with hair extensions. But her appearance is important for her brand for many reasons. You probably never stop to think about why she keeps changing her hair. And I don't blame you, because there are like a million other more important things to think about. But it turns out that she makes these changes on purpose. She said that changing her hair makes her feel like a new person. And many of us females can totally relate to that. Despite her brand having to do with some of it, there seems to be more personal reasoning behind it too. I mean, I can't say I've never dyed my hair, wanting to feel like a different person. Like, you know, post breakup, I gotta get new hair, I'm a new me. And spot number 7 is her weird collection. Having a collection is not uncommon, even having weird collections isn't uncommon. People collect things all the time, and it kind of just depends on what you think is weird or not. I personally collect stuffed animals. And I'm serious, I call them my furry friends and I love them. And I would love if you guys would let me know in the comments if you have a weird collection. This is a judgment-free zone. Yeah, let me know. But anyways, back to Kylie. Her collection is really random, and it's easy to think that it probably has to do with fashion or beauty or skincare, but it turns out it is not even close to that. Turns out she has a collection of rubber ducks and has been collecting them for years. When she was younger, the one thing she always asked for on her birthday was a rubber duck, and she said she still has some of her very first ones. I wonder if she'll pass them along to Stormy, because that would actually be really cute. Sliding into number 6 is the fact that she is shy. Now I know what you're thinking. The way she posts on social media, you wouldn't think that she is necessarily the shy type. She often posts pictures in barely anything clothing and in bikinis, showing off her skin and flaunting her curves. The reality is though, who she is on social media and who she is behind the scenes are two totally different people. She appears to have all the confidence in the world, but she's actually quite shy. She was speaking with People magazine when she let it slip that she is a lot more shy than people think, and in really busy situations, she gets anxious and shy very easily. She plays it off well though, especially seeing as there's cameras surrounding her every single day. She seems like a natural. So she is hiding that well. I did not picture her as like the shy type. We are halfway through and we have her secret on makeup. Forbes named her the youngest self-made billionaire after she started her own beauty company, Kylie Cosmetics. Her entire world revolves around makeup, quite literally, since it's basically her full-time income. Unlike her sister Kendall, she doesn't do modeling, and she isn't really in the fashion industry like her other Kardashian sisters. So it might surprise people to learn that even though she created a beauty empire around makeup, she doesn't actually like wearing makeup. She exposed her little secret and said that she only wears makeup because that's what her fans like to see on her social media. She says that she has a passion for makeup, but she doesn't personally like to wear it often, and that there is a difference between the two. I get that. I like makeup. Like, I'm intrigued by makeup. I like makeup. I don't like wearing it though. I can't wait to take it off. Moving along to number 4, Kylie is stubborn. Her biggest fans would love to think that they know everything about her. A big part of having celebrity status is that all your fans think they personally know you. It's kind of weird when you think about it. Like, people obsess over someone that they've never actually met and know nothing about. But even if you thought you knew what she was like, one of her traits that she might not want you knowing about is that she is incredibly stubborn. Welcome to the club, sister. I know all about that. There are many different words that can be used to describe her, and an insider dish that stubborn is one of them. They said, I quote, "If you knew Kylie, she can be very stubborn. When she makes her decisions, she sticks by them." I mean, I feel like that's not necessarily a bad trait though. Or maybe I'm just saying that because I'm stubborn and I want to think it's a good thing, but in some cases, being stubborn isn't really a bad thing. Taking over the 3rd spot is she wants to live behind the scenes. If you look at her social media, you might get the impression that she loves all of the attention that she gets, but the truth is she doesn't. She doesn't like being recognized every time she goes out, and she would rather live a more private life. During an interview with Wonderland magazine, she said, "I want to be a businesswoman and behind the scenes. Kylie Jenner needs to retire." Girl, I hate to break it to ya, but your career is just getting started. She still chooses to live her life in the public eye, but admits that she hates a lot of the attention she gets and the pressures that come along with it. Realistically though, even if she didn't want to live in the public eye anymore, it's kind of too late for that. Like, she can never just go out and people aren't gonna freak out. In spot number 2 is her secret cousin. That's right, apparently Kylie has a cousin that has been behind the shadows this whole time. The craziest part is that she looks like a spitting image of Kylie. You may have already seen her on social media. Her name is Natalie Zettel, and she's the youngest cousin of the family and is a low-key Instagram model. People recently caught on to this unknown little fact, and no one is really sure why we are just finding this out. Natalie is the daughter of Kris Jenner's younger sister. People found out about her after a picture of her and Kylie started surfacing on the internet. When you see them together side by side without all the makeup and hair and wigs and all of that, you can tell that they're related, and it's kind of cute. She's beautiful. Finally, we have made it to number 1, and we have her pregnancy was unexpected. All right, so the majority of us, this isn't really a secret. I feel like we all assumed this anyway, but it's totally not fair to judge someone that we don't even know on whether or not they planned on getting pregnant. Because really, we don't know what happened behind the scenes. The world went into a frenzy when the rumors first started, and Kylie completely went MIA and hid it from the entire world. When she first found out about her pregnancy, she wanted to keep that moment for herself rather than live it out in front of the world, where she says that she would have been judged for it, which she probably would have because she was so young. She admits that she did not plan on getting pregnant, but that it was the most amazing experience nonetheless. I mean, I get it. If I was her age and had that platform and I unexpectedly got pregnant, the amount of anxiety I would have, I wouldn't even want to tell my own parents, let alone the entire world.